PRAC of Southern New Jersey is making its mark in the region by offering an array of services in the community and now expanding its reach into economic development, affordable housing, as well as expanding Hispanic culture horizons with an exciting salsa concert. We also meet a young reverend with Oasis United Methodist Church who is leading the way with a core value of faith, family, and culture. It's all here on the next Latino Motion. Join us.
Choose quality, value, distinction. Choose Stockton.
Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is presented by Latino Motion Public Affairs Media, a New Jersey nonprofit corporation, and Stockton University. This edition of Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is brought to you by the HD Studios at the campus of Stockton University. Funding for Latino Motion is provided by Atlanticare, healthcare you can believe in. Atlantic City Electric, energy for a changing world. And South Jersey Gas. Welcome to Latino Motion, a weekly interview show highlighting issues impacting New Jersey's Latino community while advancing understanding of Latino cultural heritage and contributions to our society. And here is your host, Bert Lopez.
Buenos dias and welcome to Latino Motion. PRAC of Southern New Jersey is an organization that's on the move with an economic development initiative, a salsa concert, and a multitude of services, not only for the Hispanic community, but for the community at large. Joining me is a good friend, former mayor, former chief of county detectives of Salem County Prosecutor's Office, and currently the president of PRAC, Ralph Padilla. Ralph, welcome to Latino Motion.
Great to be here, Bert.
I know you've worn a multitude of hats, and you've been president of PRAC for a few years now.
That's correct. That's one of the hats that I wear.
And I know you're making a big impact here in this job as well. And one of the things that you're undertaking is an economic development and affordable housing project. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yes, it's something we're really excited about at PRAC. Obviously from my law enforcement background, I saw how, communities that were devastated with homes that would, start off with a broken window, and they would fall into this principle. It's called the broken windows theory. Next thing you know, they turned out being abandoned, and that's how you would see small communities, small neighborhoods kind of start making that turn and having a lot of issues related to crime and other types of offenses. So what we've done is obviously to turn communities around, we're looking at having a positive impact with individuals, with families and communities. And what we're doing at PRAC with this initiative, which is being supported with several financial institutions, is something that I really think is going to be a game changer, not just for the communities that we're investing in, but more importantly for individuals and families throughout Southern New Jersey.
So this is out in Salem County as well.
Currently, right now we're in Salem County. As you're aware, we are investing in Salem County, in Penns Grove. We're looking at other communities in Salem County. We've made investments in the borough of Woodbine in Cape May County. In 2017, we're looking to really branch out, and we're putting all our chips in with having a large presence and investment and working hand in hand with the leaders and officials and the community members in Cumberland County. So it's a project that's really growing legs per se.
So I know there's a couple components to this. The economic development component that you're actually putting out to bid, get people working in terms of construction. And then there's the opportunity for home ownership. How did they go about that?
Well, the first thing, Bert, is that what we've recognized is that there are families that are struggling. These are people that are families that both of the bread earners in the household are working, but they're facing challenges. They're living in housing areas that there isn't affordable housing, and they're paying substantial amount of money for rent and lease, and they're struggling, and they're having to work 2 and 3 jobs. So really, what we looked at is that the first piece starts off with, let's identify a community that we can make an impact in. So we might look at a street in a community, a block in a community, and that might be an area that, again, is falling down that slippery slope. And the first thing we want to do is we have collaborations with financial institutions. We're looking at purchasing homes that are currently boarded up, that are eyesores in this community. And what we do is we invest, turn around, rehabilitate them homes. That's the first piece. So we want buy-in from the community. So then the next thing that we do is, obviously, we vet out different people in the community so that they work with our caseworkers. And really what we want to do is we want to assist them with their financial literacy aspect of it, get them into that home, establish so they develop better traits on how to handle their finances. And the eventual goal is to turn, the rentor or the person who's leasing from an organization such as ours into an eventual home ownership program.
This is really a grassroots effort within the community to actually bring up that community and provide that affordable housing with a commitment for the community.
Absolutely, and I think it's a multi-pronged approach. It has to benefit individuals, it has to benefit families, but more importantly, it has to benefit the communities that you're serving. And something of note that when we're making these investments, although the PRAC of Southern New Jersey is a nonprofit organization, when we're developing these properties, we're developing this just like any other developer would be. We're paying property taxes, we're paying insurance. So again, we're putting these properties back on the tax rolls for the municipality. So the investments that we've done, such as in Pensgrove, has been welcomed by the local officials, and more importantly, there's excitement with community because at the end of the day, there's something to be said. I mean, the American dream is to eventually create situations where people can become homeowners.
And I know that your office offers a multitude of service, which we want to discuss in more detail, but certainly this housing opportunity is pretty good. You also offer some of the programs, such as helping people pay with their electric bill. I know you have a couple programs as well for that.
Absolutely. We have the LIHEAP USF program, and really that's a program that we're doing in collaboration with the utility companies such as Atlantic City Electric and South Jersey Gas. And that program specifically targets families most in need during those critical times of the year. For instance, winter is approaching. There's families, oftentimes high-risk population, specifically the senior community. And what that does is our caseworkers are able to work with them, to work with the utility companies, so that we ensure that we have people in our communities that aren't trying to, live through a winter or live through a night or a week without energy in their home and creating a substantial risk to themselves, because we know how tragic those things can turn out to be.
And I know PRAC stands for Puerto Rican Action Committee, but it's not just open for Latinos, it's open for everyone that needs help.
Absolutely. The organization was created in 1971 to address the issues related to migrant Puerto Rican workers. We've morphed over the years. The reality is that we're like a shoe. The logo says one thing, but inside the box, we serve all sports. We're just not a basketball shoe per se.
Good analogy. Thanks for that. And we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Latino Motion.
Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is presented by Latino Motion Public Affairs Media, a New Jersey nonprofit corporation. Join us online at www.latinomotion.tv. Find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We encourage your comments and contributions for show topics.
Welcome back to Latino Motion. I'm pleased to have my good friend Ralph Padilla joining us as we continue our discussion of the PRAC organization and the fine work that organization is doing to help our community. Ralph, we were just talking about the fact that you're open to everyone, not just the Latino community, but also serving the community at large. You're located in Woodbine as well as Salem County, but you're also expanding your horizons to other areas. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yes, I think obviously, being in the organization, coming into the organization to somewhat turn the organization around and expand the services, we see, the ability to do a lot of great work in Cumberland County. We've had a presence in Atlantic City. We're going to be coming back to Atlantic County. And really, the strategic plan calls for covering all of the 7 southern New Jersey counties. But, in the immediate future, Cumberland County, as you know, we're doing some great work there, kicking it off, but we just need to kind of sort of finalize things and having the physical presence there. So we're excited for 2017.
In Cumberland County, certainly a very large Latino community there, so certainly expanding makes sense to Cumberland County.
Absolutely, Bert. As you know, with the city of Vineland, with the city of Bridgeton, with the city of Millville, and the collaborations that we have. I think, we have great governmental partners, we have great community leaders, so we're really excited the things that we're going to be able to do together there.
Now, you're also part of maintaining our cultural heritage in the region as well, and I know that we kicked off for many years the Gala that the organization has held, a very festive time, and certainly bringing people together, not just the Latino community, but the community at large. And now you have a real specific entertainment venue with a salsa concert. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I think that's one of the things we're most excited about. Hispanic cultural arts and entertainment is something that we think is very critical. The fact that we're able to bring world-class entertainment, Grammy Award winners to Southern New Jersey so that members of the entire community can enjoy their music, their performances without having to travel to Philadelphia, to New York City. I think that's a great thing. And the partnership that we have with Philip Van Ebden, attorney at law, who is the point person at the Lavoie Theater. And when you look at the Lavoie Theater, really that's the mecca of theaters in Southern New Jersey.
Last year for the first concert you held, Absolutely. And it's a wonderful venue, very comfortable area to enjoy a nice concert.
Yes, and I want to thank you for volunteering, being one of the hosts of the event. We sold it out. I think people, when we first announced such a large entertainment show like that, had some people scratching their heads. But again, to see a sold-out theater and the cross-section of the community that was there that night, I think that's the critical part. And I think that goes to show, that our cultural and entertainment events cross so many, ethnic boundaries. So we're excited, doing great things here.
It was a great the first time that you had a Latino concert there at the theater. The first Latino mayor in Millville, Mayor Santiago, was in the audience. So it was a lot of firsts, and it was a great event. Tell me who you have coming this year.
Well, this year we're real excited. First of all, this year we're expanding the program. First of all, we're going to be kicking off with our large event, which is the Legends of Salsa concert. We're bringing it for the first time ever together into this area. Latin Grammy Award winner Andy Montañez, who's going to be performing there. Tito Rojas, who has traveled throughout the world. We have a couple other artists that we're going to be announcing at a press conference here shortly before the start of the year. It's going to be, again, just a monster concert, and the sad part is that we can't put 2,000 people in there, but we're excited, and that is going to be the first Saturday in April. People better get ready. As you saw last time, although it is a theater, there's plenty of people dancing in the aisles. Just a great event.
Well, I'm hoping you get me, Andy, to come on the show for an interview down the road, but he does a tremendous show. I've seen him perform. He's come to the festivals I used to do in Atlantic City. He's just an outstanding performer, so I'm really looking forward to seeing him again.
Class act.
Now, this is part of the culture and heritage programs that you're running. Are there other things that you're planning to do along this line?
Yes. First of all, what we saw is we want to unite the community. So last summer, with the assistance of our great friend, Mayor Mike Santiago, who we got into the political arena together. We were both elected mayors, he being the first one in Millville ever, Hispanic, and myself in Salem County. But we brought in the National Puerto Rican U16 baseball team from Puerto Rico on an ambassador tour last year to the city of Millville. They played against teams from Southern New Jersey and also New York City. It was great. It was a great way to build goodwill throughout the community. This year, we're bringing top performers such as Eli Castro, who's just a sensational person. But we have a unique thing that we're doing. We have, bouncing off of Dancing Off the Stars, per se. We have Salsa with the Stars in May, which we have some local celebrities that are going to be dancing. And we're in production with a musical that's going to be called The Bodega, which we're very excited about.
I'm going to avoid that phone call.
I've not volunteered for that either, so I know my limitations, Bert.
Thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing this great information. I'm sure I'll have you back soon.
Great, thank you, Bert.
And stay tuned, we'll be right back with more Latino Motion.
Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is presented by Latino Motion Public Affairs Media, a New Jersey nonprofit corporation. Join us online at www.latinomotion.tv. Find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We encourage your comments and contributions for show topics.
Welcome back to Latino Motion. An author that has been on this show, Don Daniel Ortiz, described the soul of Latinos in America with 3 words: faith, family, and frijoles, with frijoles being a catch-all for culture. Joining me to discuss how one local church is elevating all 3 of these characteristics is Reverend Ameliris Gonzalez. She is with Oasis United Methodist Church. Reverenda, welcome to Latino Motion.
Thank you for this invitation, Bert.
Now, you are the new pastor of Oasis United Methodist Church, and I know the church is not new to you. You've been around the church for a very long time, and now you're back as the leader of the church. Tell me some of the things that you're doing.
Well, first of all, that's not a church for me, that's home. So I'm back home. Oasis, I'm proud of saying this is one of the few 100% evangelical progressive churches in the area. So we mix a little bit of everything, traditional style with contemporary evangelical beat. So you go on a service so you can hear salsa mixed with the chants, everybody, a little bit of everything for everybody.
It doesn't get more Latino than that.
No.
Faith is very important for the Latino community, and I know that almost all Latinos were Catholic at one point,
Yes.
and a new survey came out that says that about 1 in 4 Latinos were former Catholics. So they're turning to other religions as well. It's not just the Catholic faith, although they've now been able with over 55% of the Latinos that are Catholic. But you're seeing a growth with more Latinos going to evangelical churches and organizations such as yours.
Yes, we have expanded our service. Of course, we come from the United Methodist tradition, but we have mixed with the flavor of the Hispanic culture to make a difference in the community we're serving in.
And family is a big issue for the Latino community. Obviously, it's very important to have the family joined together, and you do welcome children to the church.
Families are welcome. We have Bible study for the families, Bible study for the children. We have a child's moment, and we invite everybody to participate in.
One of the important things that you're doing besides being the church and providing the faith is also being a steward of the community, doing a lot of things in the community. Tell me a little bit about that.
Right now we have a food pantry open to serve the community every last Wednesday of the month. Through that program, we serve homeless people and people that are struggling right now financially. We do have a clothing drive, a seasonal clothing drive. We have a soup kitchen. It's seasonal now, serving during the winter time. We go out to the streets that we serve hot meals to the people we find asking for food.
So obviously you have volunteers, and you still need volunteers.
We do need volunteers. We're starting soon an after-school program and a daycare. We need mentors and teachers to help out with the children's and the school task.
This is starting in January?
Yes.
Very
It is.
important. It's an opportunity, so if anyone wants to volunteer, not necessarily need to be a church member, but certainly volunteer their service to the Pleasantville community, that would be a good thing to do.
It's open to everyone. Everybody's welcome to come, and there's always something everybody can do.
Now, I mentioned family, and you mentioned the youth. You're also doing some other things with the youth. Tell me a little bit about that.
Youth is so important right now, not just for the church, but also for our community and for the world. We're going to start the Youth Leadership Academy. The name is Generation Next. We're going to train those kids not just in leadership skills, but also we are training them into community organizing, civic engagement, and activism.
You know, when we see in the news violence that takes place out in the communities, in urban communities, certainly these are the kind of things that we need for our family and our children to be involved in.
Parents are welcoming the initiative. They're very happy because they know now their kids have a place to go. They feel safer. And we're here to provide that. We're striving and fighting every day to provide that.
Tell me, in terms of the outreach you're doing in the city of Pleasantville, and you're working with other organizations as well. Tell me about that.
Well, the city of Pleasantville is changing. We have a lot of constructions, a lot of new people coming in. We're getting out there, we're opening our doors, but we're walking around in the community. We're letting people know that we're there to stay.
You mentioned the culture, very important, and certainly if anyone wants to come and get that exposure, if you're learning Spanish, it's probably a great opportunity to really immerse yourself in the Spanish, but also to get a little flavor of the culture. Tell me a little bit about how you infuse culture into your service.
Well, we have people from first generation native Spanish speakers till fourth generation. So we have a little bit of everything. It's not just a music thing. We include food. We include our stories. Recently in the past, we brought in stories from Dominican Republic, testimonials of situations that are happening right now around the whole world that are affecting the Hispanic community. So we're giving a flavor of home to everybody.
And I know you also have done events for the community. You brought in people to talk about immigration and other things as well.
Yes. And not only that, but we have gone out with other groups to let them know that we're there to help too. We have people willing to bring a helping hand, not just to help us, but we are strong and we are here.
A very important message, and certainly, hopefully, that some who listen to this interview will also get engaged and volunteer or even attend the service. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for joining us here on the show, and thank you for joining us at home once again here, Latino Motion.
Choose quality, value, distinction. Choose Stockton.
Funding for Latino Motion is provided by Atlanticare, healthcare you can believe in. Atlantic City Electric, energy for a changing world. And South Jersey Gas.